Hey everyone, we're back into another episode of Emu Cards. It's tuxedo time. We're gonna go over the SGC gradings and prices. So SGC has been on a roll. I sent this in at the end of February. Got it in probably like I'm sorry, the beginning of February and got it and the end of February. So I think it was actually 23 days in real time. So they're kicking butt. And on top of that, I sent this through Nash Cards. I did that because of sports card nonsense on the Rigor Podcast Network. Um, and part of that, if you watch my previous SGC review video, check that out. My friend and I, we did our own big, like thorough inspection. We got the whole grading kit, the magnifying light, the centering tool, got the cleaning, the microfiber cloth, and and yeah, and kind of like really assess. I think we went through probably like 50 or 60 cards. They were thinking about getting graded, and we ended up submitting probably like 23, something like that. And we just did not get the grades back that we wanted to. So we're just like, okay, this time let's just let's just give it to the professionals. So Nash Cards, what they do is it's $25 per card, and I think it actually went down since SGC went is at $23 since then. And but you pay an extra $5, and they'll do this self assessment, and they'll also clean the card. And not only will they, if they don't think it's going to get, now they'll never say this, what I'm about to say. This is just my opinion, is that if they don't think it's going to do an 8 or better, they will kick it back to you. They'll actually put notes down of why they kicked it back, the reasoning, so you understand that there's a system in place. There's a thorough review system. So it's a good learning tool, and it's completely worth it. And on top of that, if they kick it back, instead of charging the $5, they just charge you the three. So you really, if you get a kickback, you're really just spending $3 to get your card critically reviewed. So here we go. So I'm gonna go through actually all the cards that got kicked back. We actually submitted 20, and 11 of them got kicked back. So all right. So this was a green Prism John Morant that they kicked back. So as you can see, they said the centering, and they even see, like, you see these little marks right here. Now this stuff can be cleaned if like you get Kurt's card care, which I do have, but you look at the centering down here, it makes sense why. And they even do like the back. In the back, they actually have like little lines and stuff that you really need to look thoroughly through if you have the magnifying glass. But this is why you do. This is funny. Like, they actually said this card was good to go, but my dad wanted to submit this card. I don't know why, just because it's Jaw. But they sent it back with no reason. I think they're saying that the card is not worth anything. It's not worth getting graded. So thank you, SGC. I mean, thank you, Nash Cards, for doing that. I tried to tell my dad that, but he wants to send all of his Jaws. This was a big card. We wanted this. This is actually also my dad's Joe Burrow Prison Black from the Chronicle set, and yeah, the centering down comparably up here, and then the right, so a little less and over here, and then the back. They even mentioned that there's like the corner is not the greatest, and then there's also a surface mark. Now, most of these surface marks you can usually clean out yourself, but again, we're getting intel on why. So it's really good learning experience. And I will be using this service going forward. I mean, it just, like, $5 extra, you're not going to do that. It just makes absolutely zero sense. All right, so this is another jaw. This is just the base tribute from Premium Hoops 2019. So the front just has a few surface marks, and then on the back, see, this is really interesting. I know this camera cannot pick it, but there is like a print line that goes through the back, and I can see it, like it's actually right here. I'm literally following it. I know the camera can see it. Actually, I lost it again. Yeah, okay, now I found it. It's right, goes right through the center of the card. And, you know, I'm looking at this card. Centering is solid, not great, but I would have thought that just by looking at it, it would have gotten like a 9.5 on SGC if I sent this without being reviewed by Nash Cards. And I'm glad I did because this is the same exact card. And look, actually, this time, the front, nothing. Centering is good. Actually, centering is better here than over here. On the back, has that same print. That's all this card has. So Nash Cards is telling you it's not worth sending this. Right? So to learn that really just costs $3. Like, it's not even a brainer. This is a Micah Parsons optic prism. Beautiful card, but the centering, which I wouldn't even think about because it's so easy, or you just get so trapped from looking from left to right. But the top bottom is really important, and them mentioning that, and the back, they did notice like this little edge right there. Yeah, I'm sure, looks like the camera's picking it up. So, which is great because I was actually pretty excited about that card. Now this was like heartbreaking for my dad. My dad like bought this on eBay, and you look at the centering. The centering is pretty spot on with this card, but they noticed that there's a little corner ding on the back and the front, so they didn't think it was worth sending it, and you can really see it right there. So it's kind of a bummer because I actually think the centering on both like the back and the front is pretty good for Fleer, especially for 1988. Kareem for me is the number 3 player all time, just Jordan LeBron on front of him. So this was an upsetting one for me. This is the Desmond Bain optic pink, but then again, optic, the centering, so like the space in between, left and right is not the greatest either. But and then we look at the back, and there's all this surface. Now the interesting is like, they picked this up on the Magnolite, so which I am good with. And the same thing with this Desmond Bain. Centering both left and to right, and this one's a little bit more obvious, but it's such a beautiful card. It really is. Yeah. And then the back. The back is another example that they're saying this actually isn't a print line. This is them saying that everything was good in the back, but the centering was pretty bad. So overall, the condition, the surface was good. Just, yeah, especially with SGC. Weirdly enough, I guarantee this would be a 9 at PSA. Because if the only thing that they're saying is a centering, which definitely doesn't fall, like especially when you add that up, wouldn't fall in that 60-40, that would possibly get a 10. But when you consider the corners are all good, the surface is all good, that they're saying that it's not worth sending SGC. So this is an these next two are really interesting. These are all surface blemishes for this blue cracked ice Durant. So back and front. So that's the front. This is the back. So just I bought Kurt's Card Care. I'm actually going to clean this card and the next card I'll show you, and resubmit it to see if actually Kurt's Card Care works. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to do a separate video on the result of that on my next submission, which my father and I are going to do pretty soon. Actually, I put aside the cards that I want to get submitted, and then he's going to give me his. But really good intel, because actually this was one of the cards I was pretty sure was going to get at least a 9.5. And same thing with this Darius Garland, is that it's both surfaces, like surface issues on both the back and the front. So again, what I'm going to do is clean this card with Kurt's card, the wax, the spray, the microfiber cloth, and then resubmit it and see if it gets anything better. So, so that is why you should send them in to be specifically the Nash cards. I recommend because I did got baseball cards, and that's through Sports Cards Investor. But what GodBaseballCards.com will not do is they will not clean your card for you. Nash Cards does, and I actually do think when I reveal these cards, I think it made a difference on some of the grades. All right. So first one is the Steph Curry 2017 Green Prism of the Fundamentals. Got an SGC 10. I mean, beautiful though. So listing this at $80, it's just such a beautiful card. So yeah, was very very happy with that. Next, one of the Bames. This is actually from the retail. Desmond Bain, such a nice card, 9.5. And, but funny enough, is that I'm pretty sure why it didn't get is two things. The centering from top to bottom isn't the best, but really when you look at the back, look at from your left to the right, that really just made a little bit of difference. So I'm listing that for 50, and that's probably going to go up when the playoffs get going, because Bain is, I mean, he had a good game tonight with Ja out. Had to just do one of these cards. This card is so hard to find with half decent centering. And it's also important to know like a difference between SGC and PSA. To me, I think this would be a PSA 9 because the centering left to right, I think top to down, it's pretty good. The back is actually the centering is where I think it got really dinged up. But this is a really good grade for this card because SGC just puts so much of priority for the centering. But for those that don't know why you're doing a Mark Jackson card, this is the Menendez brothers right here. And what's really kind of eerie and what makes this card famous is not only did two brothers that killed their father were caught courtside at a Knicks game, but was the picture of the timing. So when this picture was taken, the Menendez brothers had already killed their father, but before they got arrested. So really interesting, like fact on why that card holds such significance, and also why that whole the 1990 hoops, that box 1 and 2 is just such a fun rip. All right, LeBron Silver Prism SGC 10, beautiful card. Centering is spot on. Yeah, yeah, low, very very low pop. So $45 on that one. Then we got Darius Garland, SGC 10. Beautiful. Silver Prism, his rookie card, exploding. Now, the concerning thing for Cavaliers, I thought, I'm just thinking that this card, and then here I also have I actually just pulled this the other day, Evan Mobley, Teal Explosion rookie card. What's going to be really exciting for them is that I knew they were going to get in the first round, but it looks like it's not because the Cavaliers have been struggling. They did have a big win against Denver over the what was that, Friday night, and maybe that steers the ship. But Toronto is breathing right down their neck, so it's possible, especially with Brooklyn locked in at the A seed, is that Cleveland may fall to 7. They're going to lose to Brooklyn because it's going to be in Cleveland, and then they're going to have to win the game at home, to be fair, in the 9-10 game. So it's even possible that Cleveland, who far exceeded expectations, may not make the playoffs, which would really hurt his value because I was really hoping that he would make a really good run. So here's one of my dad's Jaws. This is his base, 9.5. Such a great card. So many Jaw cards already, like awesome. That's why I like his Prism rookie. It's just so dull. It's just like him dribbling. Here's another. So this is the Green Prism. This is the Tribute. Got a 9. $50. What did I list this? $60 for this. So if any and all these cards are available, obviously if I'm putting prices on. If you're in the tri-state area, Emu Cards, right? That's the Instagram. If you're not following, We have our email, emucards@gmail.com, but that's our Instagram. We will be at the Woodbridge Sports Card Show on April 9th. My dad and I are going to get a table. And then we are hosting our second sports card show because the first one was very successful on May 21st, Middlesex Elks. What's really awesome about that is we're going to be able to raise money for the U.S. veterans through the Middlesex Elks. Elks Clubs does a great job with U.S. veterans and also kids with multiple disabilities. They're an incredible organization. So come see us, come say hi, and yes. So two more cards. So this is Joe Burrow Prism, the Dynagon, 9.5, awesome grade. I think actually a big reason why that's 9.5 is that Nash Cards helped cleaned it. So $85, which I think that is a steal. And then here's the interesting thing is, so this got a 6, but this passed through Nash Cards. You look at the centering. The centering is pretty awesome. It's 1979 tops. It's a beautiful Kareem Abdul-Jabbar card. The back is not perfectly centered. So when I reached up, so we're listing this for $50 if anybody's wondering. So actually, I contacted Nash Cards. I said like, what happened here, and I even like thought I was like, should this be resubmitted? Because like this to me is an 8 at the least. And they got back to me within an hour or two of me sending them an email, kind of questioning it, and they said, look, we talked to the reviewer. They said that at worst case scenario, they thought this would be a 7. They're shocked just as much as we are. But they said they don't recommend resubmitting it because you have to pay the full $25 for a resubmit. And they're like, in their experience, they do not recommend doing that because it just hasn't gone over well. So it was really good insight. I really do appreciate it. I think this is a mistake on SGC because when I revealed these live on Instagram, everyone's thought was just like, well, it's got to be the surface. It's got to be the surface. I looked at under the light. It was professionally done by Nash Cards. The corners are in pretty good shape. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still shocking to be quite honest with you that it got a 6, but still a beautiful card. But that's part of the gamble that you play. So that was Tuxedo Time with SGC. Comment, message me on Instagram. I hope all is well, and I will talk to you all soon. Peace out.